So, this is a client's existing setup. So we have a trading entity up here and a top unit trust where there's a 50-50 split in the ownership between two families. So each family has an investment trust and then a corporate beneficiary under that investment trust on both sides. So what they're wanting to do is the building that they're currently in is up for sale and they want to buy the building. Obviously they're going to have some rent off that, so and they want to be able to access that as well. So what we might do is, looking at the existing structure for starters, what entities in here would not be suitable to purchase a investment property in?
The trading entity?
Yep.
Too much risk?
Yep, so that one's out of the question. So does everyone understand that? So if the business got sued and they also own the building in there, that building would potentially be at risk of being, they might have to sell it to pay their debts.
Are they wanting to buy the building like still 50-50?
Yes, sorry, yeah, I've got that little thing. They also want to go into it 50-50, so both of the partners want to go into this building. So what else in this structure would be particularly helpful? Which ones could we knock off next?
Of course, it's an individual family trust, but because they were maintain a 50-50 split.
Yep. So obviously it wouldn't really be ideal just to buy it in solely in one or the other trust, because obviously we want to have a shared joint ownership over it. Yep. Good. What about the companies? Would it be beneficial to go into the companies at all? No? So why not?
For the same reason as the 50-50 split, but also the capital gains. So if there's any capital gain on that building, they wouldn't be eligible for the discount.
Yep, perfect. So yeah, that obviously, again, we don't want it solely in one or the other, and two, with companies you can't access that 50% discount. So we've kind of eliminated most of our options in the existing structure. What alternatives could we do instead?
Can you set up a partnership?
Yep.
Have the two partners as one of the trusts and the other trust?
Yep. So that was one option we put up. So they could certainly do a partnership between the two trusts, and buy the building like that. That was certainly an option. But anyone tell me maybe some of the risks involved with that option? Anyone? Okay, so one thing that we did mention to them is that it can be a bit more difficult for a partnership of entities to get finance. So that was one issue. And the other issue that we mentioned was also that there's that joint and several liability that each partner would be liable for the other partner's share in the investment that way, and if something happened, it could get a little bit messy. So what else? Maybe think outside the box. Could we create a new entity?
Another trust?
Yep. So create a new trust. What sort of trust?
Maybe a unit trust if you wanted it just 50-50.
Yep. Yep. So that's what we suggested. We suggested a 50-50 split between the two investment trusts. And that's basically what they're going to do, is to set up a new trust so they can buy that building, and then they've got that 50-50 share, and there's just the one entity too, which is a bit easier for finance as well.
Can you put a corporate?
Yeah, we're going to put a corporate trustee on top as well.
And why are you doing that?
We did think about their wives, but we've also got, we didn't want the husbands involved because they're involved up here in the trading entity. We do have wives, as trustees down here already, but we thought it simpler just to keep keep it try and keep it separate from everything else, because this is fairly linked now. We try to keep it away from everything else. Any other thoughts?
Can you have the same corporate trustee as you have over here?
Look, you could, but again, you're sort of associating that trust with this trust, and the confusion around the trustee can potentially be an issue. So we did say that it's probably not a great idea that you can do it.
Lawyers are very against that because if they sue the trading entity, then there's a big confusion around whether it owns the other. Also, they're very strong about passive.
Keep it separate.
Margie, can I just ask, did you say, I'm just out of the room, did you say how the financing, whether it's negatively geared, whether you're doing equity or loans?
There is going to be finance. They are going to put in 15% each, so 30% they will contribute as equity, and then the rest they're getting finance for within the trust.
Negatively geared or positive?
I don't know. Sorry.
Why equity, Margie?
So we went the equity option because, well, we. Sorry.
Question, Margie.
If these trusts made loans into the new trust, what could be a potential problem that we might have? Yep. So that's section 109 XA. So these investment trusts have pretty much every year been making distributions down into your corporate beneficiary. So we have years and years worth of unpaid present entitlements down to these companies, both of them. So that would certainly cause an issue. We'd have to put loan agreements on them, so we didn't have a deemed dividend. So it was simpler. We recommended that if they want to putting the money into the trust, would be done in exchange for equity, so additional units in the trust rather than showing it as a loan. And it is expected to be a long-term investment as well, so not expected to sell anytime soon. With that unit trust option, what's another twist we could possibly make on the ownership of the units?
Could the units be owned by the corporate beneficiary?
No, it's potential.
Why would you not want to do
You said it before, Jason.
Same answer as before. Because of the CGT discount.
Yeah.
the individuals or the wives also buy into that new trust?
Yep, they could. But then if they wanted to get, if there are profits, what's the disadvantage potentially with that? If there's a high levels of profit.
Straight to the one person.
Yep.
You don't get the flexibility.
So you might be paying higher tax.
Are you going to pay rent across from this trust across to help?
Yeah, there will be rent going in here as well. So there will be rent on it.
Help fund
Yes.
interest payments.
Yeah, they're hoping that most of the rent will cover the costs inside the trust. Any other guesses? Or should I just move on? I think Angela knows, but
Yep, so a way of minimising tax, so presumably they're all at fairly high levels of tax, is the super funds underneath.
yep. So the other option, which they're going to have a think about, is to put. They don't have self-managed super funds as yet, but so they might think about. They're thinking about putting in some establishing self-managed super funds, so we can get any profits down into these. And what's the benefit? What's the tax rate down in those? 15%. Yep.
Good work, guys.
So we only have 15% flat rates down in here, as opposed to if everything goes down into these investment trusts where there is already a lot of income anyway, and then out to the individuals or the corporate beneficiary, it's a bit more simpler as well.
So you're allowed to have the self-managed super funds owning kind of that?
Well, that's what we're investigating,
Okay.
but that's certainly what we're putting up. But that's an option for them to think about, which we are going to look at in more detail. Okay, so that's